Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where we are currently working on our route creation. So first things first, we know essentially how creating routes is going to work, but we need some graphics for this, right? So we've got ourselves a texture here, or rather a material here, that would work for the actual route positions. So for like the route path that would be auto-generated. But we're going to need an origination point and a waypoint texture. For right now, what I want to do is I want to just fire up GIMP. GIMP? No, what? What is... Oh boy. Nope. Go away. GIMP. There we go. Fire up GIMP. I don't know why it even opened Microsoft Edge and Bing. I don't know. I blame Microsoft. So let's go ahead and create ourselves a new image here, and I think 256 by 256 will be plenty for this. And for right now, I'm just going to keep this super simple. We're going to just have text here, and essentially, what font do I want to use here? I mean, just sans is kind of boring. We'll use nasalization. And what size do we want here? Definitely bigger than 18. What's 256 look like? Does that fill the entire image? It does, by a little too much. Let's try 200. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. We'll go ahead and delete the background layer. We do not need that. And I'm going to duplicate the W layer. No. Always forget that hotkey doesn't work in GIMP. I'm going to duplicate the W layer, and we are going to rename this over to the O layer. We're going to go back up to size 200. Okay. No, I don't want to cut that. I just want to center it. What are you doing, Ellie? The cat appears to be going insane. Okay, so that's exciting. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take both of these, and we are just going to convert these. So we are going to... I forget how to do this. I want to convert this from text to... Yeah, discard text information. I want to just convert that to a pure image, because I want to do layer, auto crop layer, and then get this properly centered. There we go. Layer, auto crop layer. And we are going to properly center this as well. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and export this as to the desktop as this is going to be, well, we'll just call it o.png. And then we will export this as well as w.png. There we go. We do not need GIMP anymore. Those temporary textures are here. Go down to textures, and Visual Studio can go away for the moment. And we will go ahead and grab O and W and just drop them in here. Perfect. Now the next question is, we need to go ahead and make these alpha transparent. There we go. Now the next question is, with the default Unity cube, what's the UV map on this thing look like? Is it essentially just 6 quads, with each quad being a scale to bounds? That would be what I would hope. But let's go ahead and make ourselves a material here, and we will say that this is the root origination material. And we'll go ahead and drop that right on here. We're going to go to rendering mode fade, and we're going to set our albedo to O. And yes, that is doing exactly what I had hoped for. Now, the main thing here that I don't like is that it's culling the back faces. And there isn't really an option in the standard shader to do anything about that. Let's go ahead and create ourselves a new shader, standard surface shader, and we'll say that this is standard. However, this is standard, no backface culling. And otherwise, this should be just a standard shader. So in the tags here, we then want to do something just like cull off. And I think that's all we got to do. Now the question is that actually a standard shader? And I don't know if it is or not. I'd be a little surprised if that was a real standard shader. Standard no backface culling. Yeah, okay. We need to make a couple more changes. Render type equals transparent. And then we need to say, what is it? It's the 1 minus source alpha. Can't remember. Why can't I remember? Fine. I'll figure it out. We're doing it live. Okay. So, Unity shader transparent. I know what I need to do, I just can't remember how exactly the syntax goes. So what we need to do is we need to do this. Yeah, this is it. So essentially cull off is what we want. We also want to do we want to turn off the Z-write? Probably not. But blend source alpha is 1 minus source alpha. And that's what I couldn't remember. We also need to go into our tags here and say that Q equals transparent, like that. And with any luck, okay, so let's also come on down here and see what's going on here. O.alpha equals C.A, which is just the main texture, times the color here, which should be right. Okay. What am I missing here? Do we need the Z write off? Maybe we do. Try it. Shader programming is not my specialty, that's for sure. Okay, the Z write off kind of broke it. That's not what I'm looking for. So we bring it back and we have this, which isn't very helpful, is it? Okay. Is it something to do with this? Let me check here. I'm trying to remember. I have done this in the past. Blah, 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 blah. This is not handy. Modifying alpha. Here we go. So, I mean, we could potentially not multiply by the color here. Which, I mean, would make sense, because we don't really... No, I don't mean to print screen. I meant to hit insert so that we're not doing this nonsense. So, yeah, I just... The color doesn't actually matter right now. But we don't appear to actually be transparent currently. Which is a little odd. We need to ignore projector? I don't think so. Okay. I just want a standard two-sided shader, essentially. So we would need to download the full standard or standard specular shader and then just add cull off like we did here. But realistically, this should work fine. Is it a problem with our smoothness or our metallic or something? No. Okay, well that's not particularly working. Let's just go ahead and go for the standard shader. Or we could go for ground shader, but that would not work. No, we're gonna go with just the standard shader, like we did before, and we're gonna go ahead and come in here and delete this. It's not worth it for this temporary thing. We've got this origination point, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and provide a color for this so that we can actually see, because I don't actually like this being transparent. So I'm gonna go ahead and, well, actually, do we need to modify the texture at all? I feel like maybe we don't, and we can just do it in the material. So we can come in here and go to our root origination, make it opaque. Okay, it makes it the same color. So we do actually have to modify this. I guess that's fine. So we're gonna go ahead and open GIMP back up and show in Explorer, Textures. GIMP, where are you at? There you are. Okay. We're just going to create ourselves a white background layer. And overwrite o.png. And the same thing for W. Overwrite w.png and discard changes, and there we go. Okay. So now we have this going on. Of course, there's this nonsense, but that's kind of irrelevant. And then we can go into our root origination material, and we can always change this to be, you know, whatever color we want. We can make it be kind of a decent blue-greenish color if we wanted. But right now, I'm leaning towards having it be just kind of like that color. That should be fine. We don't need a collider on this, do we? Actually, we do. We do need a collider on this guy. Yeah, we do. Okay, so I'm going to call this origination point, and we're going to go ahead and duplicate it, and then call it waypoint. And then I'm going to move this a little over here. We're going to duplicate the root origination material as well. And I'm just going to call this waypoint material, and it's going to be the same thing, except I'm going to change the color to be a little bit more pink purpley. Assign it in. There we go. Maybe not quite that pink purpley. Maybe kind of like that-ish. Should do the trick, I think. And we're going to need to change our albedo color over to W. Now that's interesting. The W's are upside down. That's a very interesting little thing there. Huh. Okay, well, I mean, for right now, we can just very easily flip it. Bam. Done. Okay, so let's go ahead and also create a 3D object quad. And I'm just going to want to place this in here. Right about there will do. I want to place it at the same Y value though. Actually, I just want to copy this component and paste it in here. There we go. Move this here, rotate it 90 degrees, give this root material, and there we go. And then we would have, like, say, another waypoint over here. Of course, this is all cube-based, so that's something we're going to need to take into account. But for right now, this will do. So we're going to have a waypoint here, and then this quad would then go, like, here with negative 90 rotation on the y-axis. And then we'd have another one that goes here, essentially. Or the other option is we can always have this be placed halfway in between, something like this, and increase the scale of it like this. Ellie, what are you doing? I don't know what the cat is doing right now. She is going insane. Presumably because she wants to be fed. So anyway, it would be something kind of like that, except we probably want the root to be kind of similarly colored. Maybe have these be a little brighter. Kind of like that. Okay, so we have a basic understanding of how the root is going to work, right? So I think the next thing that we're going to need to do is separate out the head of the arrow from the rest of the arrow, so that we can have this not scale weirdly. But that is something for next episode. See you all then.